Hello, everyone. This is Robert Jackson, and thank you for tuning in to the Station Square podcast. In case you haven't noticed, I am in an office. This is kind of like a different room than where I usually record in because, we're making renovations around the house. So let's just say that. But I figured I might as well just use this time while I'm in here because my room is unavailable. Might as well just make the best of it. So today, I have a very lovely and a beautiful special guest in the corner with me. We
Hi.
have the amazing Yenni Ann VO joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. The amazing Yenni Ann. That's nice. That has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, the amazing Yenni Ann. You might as well just use it for your branding.
The amazing Yenni Ann. That's what I'm going to do now. Thank you so much for having me here. And I'm really excited to talk about all things voice acting, whether it be through commercial work, radio work, audiobooks, anime, live dubbing, toys. I've been very blessed to be able to have my voice in all of these little things. So it's been a pleasure and an absolute honor and opportunity to be able to do all these kind of things in voiceover. And recently now audiobooks. So yeah.
Totally, totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot to discuss about. But
We
first,
do.
yeah, just share a little bio, just quickly, like I don't know, recap or just do the hey. So you can hear me and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if you may.
Mm,
What do you think?
okay, well, my name is Yenni Ann. I am born and raised in Miami, Florida, and that's where I'm stationed at now. I have been in voice acting full time just this September made a year. So I've been enjoying my time as a full-time freelancer. I do voice work. Most notably, you can hear me in live dubs. In Telemundo, Africa, I am the voice of Dr. Helena Prieto in Enfermeras or Nurses. Um, and I'm also I'm Jimena in Hidden Passion, also in Telemundo. You can also hear me. I'm trying to see what I can say. I also just finished doing two audiobooks for the author Jenny Graham Scott and their children books. I also had the pleasure of being in Rainbow High. Actually, an episode just came out yesterday, I believe, or the day before, and you can hear me as Harley Limestone from Neon Shadow. And you can pick up my doll at any Walmart, Amazon, CVS, Walgreens, Target, which is my favorite place. But I'm not allowed to go, Robert. I'm never allowed to go into Target by myself because I won't leave. I won't leave and I'll stay in there and I'll just buy everything. So I can't do that. But besides that, you can also hear me in Hello Jadoo as Yensuk. And my first half of the year was as voicing boys, and now my second half of the year I've been voicing mainly like female roles. So I've had a few things here and there. And yeah, that's about it for now. Besides that, I also work in script adapting and I help out with translations for Spanish. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's a nice little bio. Yeah,
That's a
just
pretty big
gotta.
one.
Yeah, I guess for all of us, we just gotta, hustle and just keeping on with
Yeah.
the grind to make ends meet and whatnot because
Oh,
we
for
just
sure.
love it. We're just kind of workaholics that just don't know when to
I
take a break.
agree.
It's so, which is
I
very, very
agree.
true.
You know, it's funny. I'm gonna put this because I have two screens, so I'm seeing like myself too much over there. Um,
Not
but
to
the
worry.
funny thing is, a lot of people assume that being a full-time voiceover means you're only going to be doing voiceover work. And although that is something that you want and wish for, it doesn't always bring money in, especially when a lot of studios, at least, you know, here in Miami, Florida, and some studios that I've worked with in Texas as well as Los Angeles, it does take time. You do not get paid immediately. Instead, you might get paid in 2 weeks, or you might get paid in 30 days, sometimes even 45 days. So you need to have things going on. You know, you have to do things on the side. You know, I know a lot of people who are voice actors, but also serve as directors, script adapters, translators. They're still in the creative field, right? Because we want to stay in what we feel passionate about, but definitely I don't think that you can just be in like one certain thing. If you are able to do that, that's great. But I haven't had that opportunity yet. Maybe in the future, but I also, doubling back to what you said, I love working. So I am a workaholic. I worked in corporate and government field for many, many years. So I definitely kind of miss that schedule of 9 to 5, and then you kind of get over, that's it. 5 p.m. hits, nothing else to worry about. Not exactly like that for being a voiceover artist. You definitely are working 24/7. You have to give yourself breaks. So I try to spend as much time with my family as I can, but I definitely know that I need to have things done throughout the month to make sure that by the beginning of next month, I can pay for everything that I need to pay for, be it your car, your insurance, your mortgage, whatever it may be. So I do think that you're able to do it. You just have to I think you have to kind of sometimes we have to remember to step into the real world and be like, well, I can't just do voice acting to make ends meet. I need to find something in between, which is still creative, but that can give me the income that I need. So on the side too, I forgot to mention, I'm also a realtor. So I do that too. So that's what I do on the weekends and after 5 p.m. when everybody gets out of work, I show homes. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I might as well just ask this just to get this out of the way. What are your hobbies? Like, what do you like to do outside of work? Any fun facts or I don't know,
Oh my
any
God.
interesting piece of trivia that not a lot of people know about you?
I'm a
Spill
professional
the tea.
salsa dancer. Yeah, I'm a professional salsa dancer. I was teaching salsa since I was 16, 17. And I was with a company, Salsa Kings, for like 15 years on and off, but I love them. They were amazing. They saw me grow up from a 14-year-old to almost 30-year-old. So I love teaching. I don't do it as much anymore because I just don't have time. But I love dancing salsa. That is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And I do like to read. Now that I'm doing audiobooks, I have more time to read because I have to for the audiobook. Um, and I also like finding hidden gems like around town. So like I love like going on like Google and being like brunch near me, lunch near me, dinner near me. And then like I'll go to ones that I've never been to before. And we like my partner Alex and I don't usually like to go to the same place twice. So we try to go around, except for one sushi spot. We have this like one sushi spot that we go to, like it's the best sushi. If you're ever in Miami, Florida, Fujiya sushi is like amazing, amazing, amazing. So yeah.
Probably might as well check that out. If I
Yeah,
ever decide to take a vacation down in Miami, Florida, if we actually decide to meet up at some point,
for sure.
yeah,
You're going to Fujiya. You gotta go. You gotta go to Fujiya and have like one
yeah,
bottle
you
of
got to show
sake.
me all the good places.
Yes, yes. I feel
That's
like everybody thinks that Miami is like just like South Beach and stuff. It's not. It's not. There's a lot more out there than just South Beach. I mean, you could go to the beach, but like most Miami locals do not go to the beach. So there's that.
Hmm. That's interesting to know because I've always
Yeah.
known that Florida is kind of like the weird state of the U.S., but then there's also like Ohio, Texas,
I think we're
California to
just
some extent.
weird.
Yeah.
So Florida, if you compare, you cannot like Miami and Florida are like completely different things. Like I know that we're in the state of Florida, but Miami is such a melting like a cultural melting pot. You have nobody like I don't know, it's just like a different world here. There's so many mixes of cultures, even our food, our restaurants. There's never just like, like just like a single type of restaurant. Like you'll find one like just like a Cuban restaurant or like a Chinese restaurant or even a Cajun restaurant. But like most of the times, like even in those restaurants, if you look in the menu, there's like different like types of plates around because everybody just mixes. So it's a Florida is definitely alligators and gators and all that jazz. And I think in Miami, like we won't get surprised. We'll be like, oh my God, like there's an alligator there or something. But I mean, I think what Miami is known for is really thick-skinned people who are very much culturally aware and celebrate all cultures, celebrate all type every nationalities, everything. Like here in Miami, no, you go outside and nobody looks like the other person. Like everybody's mixed, everybody has differences, and we're all friends. Like a lot of people in Miami, there is a saying that Miami people are rude. There is a little bit of that, and that's not. I'm not even gonna lie. Miami's different, but if we like you, if anybody ever invites you for coffee, they like you. So you know that. Now, when you go to Miami, if someone invites you for coffee, you're in. Like that's it. Like you're a part of the family. If they don't invite you for coffee, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wasn't expecting to get like a little like educational history lesson about the state of
I
Florida.
feel like nobody because I feel like everybody assumes that if you want to be a voice actor or you want to be in the creative spot, you need to be in Texas, in LA, and that's just not true. There's so many of us around, especially a lot of Florida talent are now in Texas and LA. And that, but like there's everywhere. You don't have to. The wonderful thing about voice acting is you can do it from the comforts of your own home, no matter where you live. In fact, I'm now a student in the audiobook adventure with Elise Arsenal. I definitely recommend it to anybody who is wanting to try audiobooks. And she's from Rhode Island, so I think she's from Rhode Island. Elise, are you from Rhode Island? I think so. I think I saw that, but I might be wrong. But she's not even like in nobody, and she's like a top narrator. She is amazingly talented and is helping so many people find out about audiobooks and the income that you can receive from audiobooks. And I think it's such refreshing to know that you don't need to be in this crazy city or in this crazy state where like it's all about acting, because acting can be done anywhere. So yeah, I think a lot of people need to know that, because I see it a lot on social media. It's like, oh, I know that if I want to make it, I need to live in Texas or I need to live in LA. And it's just not true. That's not, I'm making it. And I'm in neither states. I'm here in Florida, in Miami. So yeah.
Yeah, you just got to do whatever works for you, and it you just got to make it work somehow. I mean, if you're in the
Yeah.
state of Florida, then anything is literally possible, and it's so true. It's very true that like you got to be in LA, you got to be in the nice uh sunny Southern California, or there's Texas, there's New York,
Yeah,
Canada, and it's all over the world. And
for
I should
sure.
probably also mention something that I guess one of the benefits, or like, if there's like anything good that has come out of the pandemic, which I can't believe I'm honestly about to talk about something positive about COVID. It's like the pandemic. It is really, there's a lot more opportunities now. I
Oh
mean, to some
yes.
extent, like there's remote recording. I know that certain studios
Yes.
don't allow that, but okay, not throwing shade towards anyone in particular, but yeah, there's like a lot of more like areas, like you said, you do
Yeah, there's more
audiobooks, there's
opportunities.
commercials, and there's everywhere that you
Definitely.
anything that you could do, like yeah. So if there's one thing that we could take out of this, is like now it's the sky's pretty much the limit. Like you could
Yeah,
just do whatever it is that you want to do. If something doesn't work for you, if something doesn't stick, then you could just try something else. And
exactly.
if that's considered to be your bread and butter and you don't even really expect it, then yeah, it's getting I know that the industry has been getting a lot more experimental. Like if we're going to talk
Yes.
about the industry for just a moment here, I believe that we're getting a lot of good things.
Give me
There's
a
been
second.
so much
I'm sorry, my dog is crying. Let me just see what's going on.
oh, okay.
Sorry. Come here, honey. Sorry. I have a little baby with me who thought he was alone, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
not. He's right here. Come here, Guinness. Come say hi to the podcasters. I don't think you can see him too much, but he gets scared. I think Alex left, and I think he thought he was alone. So he's
Oh,
a he's a Australian Shepherd, but aside from that, he's just a big baby. So I'm so sorry. That doesn't usually happen. He's really calm. Like looking at right now, he's like, okay, mom's in the booth. I know I'm not supposed to be in the booth. And then he goes and he like lays down next to the booth and just stays there. So I'm sorry about that.
no
I just heard
worries.
him crying. I was like, what's
Oh
wrong with
man.
him? You
Oh.
know, he's a mama's boy. But yes,
Anyways,
definitely
as I was
there is a
saying,
lot of
yeah,
opportunities after COVID, which sucks because we don't want to, COVID had a lot of bad things come with it.
yeah,
More bad, but I think even in the most difficult of times, we have found the ability to see some good. And that is that it gave a lot of opportunities to people outside of these hubs, right? These hubs of where acting is like, that's where it's at and it's nowhere else. And, even actually, my agent was telling me pre-COVID, she would have never accepted anyone that was outside of LA. And then after COVID hit, it became like a normal thing. Like, okay, like let's start
yeah,
bringing other people. Some of my closest friends in the industry do not live in the United States, or they live in states that are not nowhere near any of those acting hubs. And they are making their way through it and they are creating opportunities for others, right? Because the whole point I feel as an actor is to be able to pave the way for those coming behind you, right? We want to give opportunity to everybody that we meet, and everybody deserves a chance. So I think this assisted with that. This gave people chances to really start looking into acting, because before they were like, oh well, I don't live in LA, so I can't be an actress or an actor, and that's not true. It's not true
yeah.
anymore.
And there's also been a lot of other changes too. Like, a lot of people are getting more opportunities, like I said, with remote, like agents, because it's really interesting that you mentioned how they, like yours, doesn't take on anyone who is outside of LA, but now it's like, oh my gosh, now it's totally fair game. And also there's like, I've talked a lot with my boy Bell Shabir Rasabi Via, which you
Oh,
guys can totally check out. That's a
that
really great
is,
interview that I did.
I love
We
him.
talked to, yeah.
He's the best.
We'll just name drop a lot of people here. I feel like, but yeah, we were just talking about like joining the union, SAG, AFTRA, with everything that's been going about, and also getting into the representation and diversity. There's been a lot more doors that are opening up. I personally feel that it's a step in the right direction. I just
Yeah,
think that there's a lot more that can be done with this. Like, we're
of
doing good
course.
so far, but I mean, that's why we have people like PGM Violist and the VOC Takeover. Love you, Jazzy. Love you, Ed, and all you guys. um, yeah, there's just a lot more work that can be done. And
Right.
yeah, and I know that I've discussed more in depth about this with Bell regarding like, because like the both of us, we're both let's see, people of color. Like, we're both African American actors, Belle and I, and I know that um everyone has different experiences about
Right.
like when it comes to unfair treatment in the industry. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's something that's been going on right now where like I know that a lot of people know about this, but it involves a certain video game franchise that I'm pretty sure I know a lot of people are aware of. And I know that it is still a work in progress, so I'm not going to speak too much on that. But with other situations that have happened, like, anime dubs that are not being unionized, like with what's been going on with Mob Psycho 100, and it's just, yeah, there's been a lot of, like, honestly, if I were to go in depth, I would just talk about this type of stuff. I would just go on for like literally over an hour, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that would be like a different topic for like another podcast episode altogether. And Luckily, though, I might have some more. I might bring on some guests that are like more, um, I guess, experienced or more like knowledgeable about this than I am. But yeah, that's just kind of. I just wanted to mention this out there because I know it's something that a lot of people are really like, very, very, very like. They have we have really strong voices, and we I mean, like, we do get loud in the booth, but we're also loud on social media. So, yeah, there's bound to be like different viewpoints, different opinions, and
Right.
different just everything that you hear from a lot of people. So, I wanted to ask you, like, I know you mentioned like remote recording has definitely been a huge factor of all these changes that are going about, but what are some of your other like comments on like how much the industry had changed from at least from when you first started out or just like in general, um
Right.
if we're gonna go
So,
into today, yeah,
um, okay,
timeline.
well, I would say there will be never any growth without change. And
Yeah,
we are going through some changes that are going to promote growth. And there has been a lot of growth. And I feel like we need to celebrate every little win that we get and also use that win to bring in more people that can have a chance. My main thing is giving people opportunities, networking, having friends within the circle that will teach you just different sorry, different things and help you grow because you are who you hang out with. And I feel like we are growing. We are getting to where we want to go, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. And everybody should be aware of that. It's not an overnight thing. That's just the process and processing. It's a process because it takes time and there's different steps to get there. I think we will. I'm not as educated and knowledgeable of all the different topics being said, and I don't like to have an opinion unless I'm, fully educated and knowledgeable about the topic. So definitely, I am not the person to talk about my feelings towards a certain thing without really researching and giving thought because we have to look at things open-mindedly and then figure out what we want to do. And I told myself that, unless I know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm not going to talk about it. So, aside from that, I do feel like there has been an immense growth. Um, when I started voice acting, I started back in, I believe, 2017, 2018. And actually, a lot of the voices that are now showing up on animes and stuff, funny enough, come from that group of people that started or were, in the Twitter scene in that 2017, 2018. My friends, Belsha Barusop, Suling Chan, Sarah Ruth Thomas,
Great
I
people.
can keep going. Like there's so many people,
Yeah,
but those three are like the ones that are like right in my head. The We've all grown together immensely. Amanda Hufford is another one that she started. She even started a Discord channel that helps people find casting calls. She's amazing at what she does. And there's so many people that have grown with us and seeing people from when they first started to now is so wonderful to me. I started with a Yeti in, and I didn't even, excuse me, I started with a Yeti in a closet and an AT 2020 with a Scarlett Focusrite. I was brought into the voice acting world by someone very dear to me, and a forever long life friend, Tony Weiss. He actually is a teacher at Closing Credits. Um, and actually, with Closing Credits, I have to give a shout out to John Wang and Buford, because they are also definitely key people in my life who helped me go up. My first gig in voiceover was actually being a host for Center Stage, which was a little Discord server that we had for Casting Call Club. and that just skyrocketed me. I was able to meet Marissa Lenti, was able to meet Anaris Quinones, Sean Chiplock, Michelle Marie. I was all these people that are now so big, and we all started in, getting, doing with center stage and stuff like that. And it's been an honor to see everybody grow and develop into just like, hard talent. Um, I do think that like I said, if we want growth, we're going to have to go through change. And there is a lot of people who are more vocal about that. Um, and for that podcast, I would, I could definitely recommend you people after this that I think are very knowledgeable in the situation and have more to say, and resources to give out for everybody to help if they can. But definitely, my favorite thing is being able to see all of my friends grow and mold into different types of creative beings. I mean, recently Michelle Marie also came out with a book called Allies or Allies. Allies, I'm sorry, Allies. And I actually have it. I bought her book. And there's so many people just, doing wonderful, wonderful work and getting opportunities that they so deserve. So it's been a beautiful journey since 2017.
Right on. So, do you have
Yeah.
any advice about like agents, agencies, and joining the union?
Mm, I am non-union right now.
Okay.
I do know that if you do want to go be in SAG-AFTRA, a great way to do it is actually through audiobooks. Audiobooks, especially through a publisher, you can have a faster track to SAG-AFTRA. I'm working on that now, so I don't want to say too much because, again, I'm not knowledgeable in that area, so I don't want to give information that could be wrong or could be misleading. Um, for agents, I feel like everybody has like these top choices for agencies, and they're like, well, if I don't get into these three, then I'm not going to go into anything. I'm not going to like try any agents. And I think that that is wrong. I do, because what is better? Fighting for a spot in these three agencies that you're like, these are the only agencies I want, or allowing yourself to meet other agencies that can give you just the same amount of work, because most agents, they get the same work. Sometimes there's some agencies that cater to maybe like commercials or like specific TV channels and things like that. And then you have other agents that are well rounded and they just have everything that they're going through. I have been through I'm now on my second agency, and I'm very, very fortunate for the opportunities that I have received, because typically you will only get into, if you really want to do like, be on Disney Junior, Cartoon Network, I don't know, just big commercials like Chevy or whatever type of thing, you do need an agent. Yes, there are so many resources available and casting calls available in Twitter, but usually the real breadwinning ones are going to be through an agent, and people need to stop assuming that you need to go to these top agencies. I'm not going to name them, to these top agencies, and that's the only way you're going to make it, because that's just not true. There are other agencies out there. There are other agencies in other states that you can sign up for, and they can give you work. So I think my advice is to go through, find a list of agencies. There is actually, if you Google, I think Edward Hong actually made it. I'm not sure
Yep.
if it was him. He made a list of agencies, and I sat my booty down one day and I applied for almost all of them. At one point, I emailed 40 agencies, and I was lucky that one picked me. And I did not have a lot under my belt at that time. This was exactly about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. I had nothing under my belt. And a wonderful agent called Marcy Polson with Artistic Agent gave me the opportunity. And through her is how I got Rainbow High. And then now I am with AB2 with Andrea Bean. And, I just started with her. So we'll see where this leads me. But I have definitely come a long way and realize that you don't have to compare yourself. You shouldn't compare yourself to your peers because it's going to make you go crazy. It is, because, oh my gosh, this person just got another anime title and I still haven't gotten one. When am I going to get into anime? If I don't get into anime, that means I shouldn't be a voice actress. Why? Why would you say that? There are so many other alternatives in voice acting that have nothing to do with anime. You can go to, you can easily be a part of commercials. You can be in radio. You can be in live dub. You can be in cartoons. There's so many different audiobooks, audio dramas, podcasts like this one. There's so many different things you can do, and we cannot be blindsided with the thought that we can only be in this one type of, this one genre of voice acting or this one branch of voice acting. And we can only be in this one agency because if I'm not in this one agency and doing this one branch of work, then I am not a voice actor, really. And that's false. So I feel, take it from me, guys, I am working on this full time. This is how I pay for all my bills. And I do it and I love my work, but it is not solely animation. And I think I have come a long way because I realized that early on that yes, it looks cool to be in conventions and to do all these things, but that's not the end all. And most of these people who are in conventions and do these things, they don't just solely do animation. They have other things that they do as well, So that's my take on it. I'm very passionate about that one because I feel like a lot of people lose out on opportunities because they think the only thing I can do is anime and I must be in like the top 3 agencies to really get somewhere. And that's just, it's false. It's not true at all.
Yeah. And as far as social media goes, how would you say that it can also help, um, like when it comes to having a presence online, how would you say that it can also be a good thing when it comes to your business and also a detriment when it comes to like anything else?
Right. So I
Pros and
think
cons
social
of
media,
social media.
right. I think social media is great for networking. I think social media is an amazing opportunity to meet people. I think social media is a great place to look into resources for voice acting and for creative purposes altogether, or just, because you like to watch cat videos. I mean, I like to watch cat videos and dog videos, but yeah, I think that social media can be definitely a double-edged sword, because you need to understand no matter what, there's someone who's not going to like you. And that's something that I have learned throughout the years, not through voice acting, but through my life experiences. There's a saying, you're always the bad guy in someone's story. No matter how good you are, you could be Mother Teresa. Somebody didn't like Mother Teresa. Who knows why, but that's just the way it goes. And I think the biggest threat in social media right now is having your own opinion, and that's as far as I'll go with that. I think you're it's good if you have an opinion that everybody else likes, but guess what, even if a lot of people like your opinion, then there's going to be that one person that just has to come and say, I think you're wrong, I think you're a terrible person because you have this opinion. So for me, and how I treat my social media presence is that I solely focus on my voice acting. On Twitter and Instagram, you'll see a little bit more of my family life. And you can follow me on Instagram at Yenni Ann. And pretty much there, I just post things that I do cater to voice acting, to real estate, and to like a very general, vague look into my life. And that's it, because I think, and I am a firm believer that my personal opinions are that they are personal. And there are people, like I said prior in this podcast, there are people who are very knowledgeable on things and have researched, have a great response and a great way to educate people in topics. That's just not me. So I decided that, I would very much use my social media to just be like, hey, I'm here. I'd love to network. If you'd like to network, let's, trade business ideas. Let's work together. Let's try some things. But I definitely hold a very, very like like not even, it's not thin, it's a very thick line, you know, like I don't go past a certain point because it's just not worth it. Um, like I said, you're always the bad guy in someone's story. So I feel like with that being said, I just keep it very, very vague, very like, hey, here's what I've done. Sometimes if I'm sad, because we're all sad, I'll post like, man, you know, sometimes it sucks because I want this and I didn't get this because I'm human. But definitely I stay away from any political opinions. I stay away from any when there's like drama, which is like every other week,
Oh my
I
God.
refuse. Like I'll post like a very vague, like maybe it's better to just not talk about it, or
Yeah.
but I try to stay away from it, you know, and people twist other people's words. And you know, there are people who want to do bad things to you, you know, like or who don't want the best for you. So with that being said, I just like now I'm just very quiet. I say what I gotta say and I jump out. I think life is to be lived in person, not by a screen. So I definitely do my best to stay outside unless I have to be in my booth, which is a lot of the time. So I try to take as much time out as I can. But yeah, I I recommend to anybody who has a social media presence or who has social media, don't worry about your followers, don't worry about anything. Um in that retrospect, don't compare yourself to others. Um do you and be who you are, but just realize that there's no way that you're going to be liked 100% by everyone, and that's just something that we all have to deal with because everybody has their own opinions of people, and personal matters are personal. So yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I will also say that look, Sailor Venus.
Yes, I am a really big Sailor Moon fan.
Oh,
I
we'll
have
probably yeah.
I'm not as like, if you want a Sailor Moon fan for real, Marion Toro, my girl, she is like Sailor Moon queen.
Oh, I know
So I got, because
Marianne.
I was gonna
Yeah.
be like, I'm a really like I'm really into it, and then I'm like, wait a second, Marion is like
Oh
top
yeah.
tier.
That'll
So
be
she's
fun. Yeah.
she has a whole Sailor Moon thing. Shout out to her. She's an amazing, talented
Yeah.
woman. And I love her so much. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That'll
But yeah,
probably
Sailor Venus.
yeah. That'll be something to talk about in part two coming up momentarily. So what I will say real quick is before I do make another meeting link, presumably. Yeah. So what I will say is I definitely agree with everything you're saying as far as like social media goes, because as we're seeing right now on Twitter, it is yeah, just enough
Twitter is
said.
a dumpster fire
It
all the
is
time.
yeah,
It's
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of crashes and burns due to the whole
yeah,
changes going on.
yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'm just gonna say about it. Because like I said, I'm gonna steer clear of any politics because this is not the podcast to be, go into any of that stuff.
No,
So
ma'am. No,
yeah.
sir.
So for the next part of this interview, we're gonna be chatting about just we're just gonna geek out because I think
We're
we
gonna
pretty
geek
much
out.
got most of the business stuff out of the way. So now we're just gonna have fun and just, let loose and just gush about our favorite stuff, which is always fun to talk about on this podcast. So, yeah, stay tuned for part two, which will be coming out
Stay tuned
shortly, and
right
we'll
now.
still be here. And yeah, hope you enjoyed our bantering and just, rambling on
Yes.
because that's what we do best. So until then, see you in part two, fellas.
Yeah.
Peace. Bye. Later.